Welcome back to Drunken Zombies. I'm Adrian, and we're serving up another zombie tale. Today it's Zero Dark Z, and this one is going to leave you craving brains.
I'm Julia.
The knowledge kind, of course.
And this story is one of those that just gets under your skin. You think you're prepared for a zombie apocalypse,
Oh, yeah.
but then you realize that the real monsters might be the ones you least expect.
Exactly. It's like Jason Bourne meets The Walking Dead, but with like 1,000 times more betrayal and mind games.
Oh, yeah. We're talking global pandemic, shadowy conspiracies, and elites doing some seriously messed up stuff.
This isn't just about surviving The Walking Dead anymore.
No, this is about uncovering a truth that could change everything.
So who are our players in this twisted game?
Well, our main crew is Shadow Unit, and let me tell you, this is no ordinary zombie fighting team.
No, they're definitely not your average survivors.
First up, we've got Dr. Elena Morales. She's a brilliant virologist, but she's carrying around the weight of the world on her shoulders.
All right, so
Well, she can't shake the feeling that science should have stopped this pandemic before it even started. She's wrestling with a lot of guilt and doubt.
that's got to be tough,
Yeah.
especially when you're facing down hordes of the undead.
Oh, absolutely. Then there's Alexei Ivanov. Talk about a hardened warrior. This guy is an ex-mercenary, and let's just say he's seen things that would make even the toughest zombie flinch.
So we've got the scientist struggling with guilt and the soldier haunted by his past. But wait, there's more, right?
Oh, yeah, Shadow Unit is full of complex characters. We've also got Raj Patel. He's a tech genius who can basically make the digital world dance to his tune.
So he's the hacker, the one who can get them into any system.
Exactly. But Raj isn't just about the tech. He's struggling with the moral implications of their mission. Is it okay to bend the rules, even break them, if it means saving humanity?
That's a heavy question to carry, especially when the world's falling apart around you.
Exactly. And then there's Jack Sullivan. He's the rogue agent,
Yeah.
the one who plays by his own rules.
Driven by revenge, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. He lost everything to the undead, and now revenge is the only thing keeping him going.
Can you imagine the tension when these four personalities collide? It's like a powder keg waiting to explode.
Their first meeting is electric. Dr. Morales is all doom and gloom, convinced that finding a cure is impossible.
And Alexei.
Oh, he's like, hope! Who needs hope when you're too busy fighting to survive? It's a clash of ideologies from the get-go.
And then you've got Raj worrying about the compromises they might have to make. He's afraid they'll become the very monsters they're fighting.
Right. And Jack, well, he's just fueled by pure rage. He doesn't care about hope or salvation. He just wants to make the undead pay.
Honestly, it sounds like they're destined to self-destruct before they even get started.
It does, doesn't it? But just when you think they're going to turn on each other, everything changes. A so-called safe zone is breached, and they're suddenly thrown into this chaotic fight for survival.
Not just their own survival either. They're trying to save innocent civilians caught in the crossfire.
It's a trial by fire. And in the midst of the chaos, something incredible happens. Their individual struggles fade into the background.
They have to work together to survive.
Exactly. They're forced to act as a unit, and they get a taste of what they can achieve when they put their differences aside.
It's like that shared experience of fighting side by side forges a bond between them.
It's a small victory in the grand scheme of things, but it's a much-needed shot of adrenaline. It gives them a renewed sense of purpose.
It's like they were jolted back to their senses.
Right. Dr. Morales starts to believe again. Raj finds something bigger to fight for than just code.
Even Jack feels a flicker of something other than rage. It's like for a moment they remember what it means to be human.
That taste of success pushes them forward. They start digging deeper into the mystery of the pandemic. They follow leads, chase down rumors, but every path they take seems to lead to a dead end.
Like they're hitting one roadblock after another.
Exactly. Laboratories that held the promise of a cure are now just piles of rubble. Witnesses disappear without a trace. It's enough to make anyone question if they're on a fool's errand.
So what do? Give up?
No, they're Shadow Unit, remember? They don't give up that easily. Just when all hope seems lost, Raj comes up with a daring plan.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the plan?
He believes the answers they're searching for are hidden inside a heavily guarded facility.
Where is this facility?
It's located in a war-torn region. So we're not just talking about zombies here. We're talking about a place where danger lurks around every corner.
Sounds like getting into this facility is going to be a challenge.
Oh, it definitely is. But Raj is a tech genius. He suggests hacking into satellites to get the intel they need.
Wow, hacking into satellites. That's some next-level stuff.
It's a high-stakes gamble, but when you're fighting a global pandemic, sometimes you have to play your best hand.
So they decide to infiltrate the facility. What happens next?
Well, let me tell you, what they find there is way more sinister than they could have ever imagined.
I bet it is.
It's not the peaceful haven of research they were expecting. It's a den of pure chaos.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
You and me both. It's crawling with the undead, and to make matters worse, they come face to face with a rogue military faction operating within the facility walls.
Whoa, wait a minute. A rogue military faction? What are they doing there?
These guys aren't just trying to survive, they're exploiting the pandemic for their own twisted agenda.
So it's not just about zombies anymore. It's about humans turning on each other.
Exactly. And just when they think it can't get any worse, Shadow Unit stumbles upon a devastating truth. The pandemic they've been fighting tooth and nail is no accident.
You're kidding me. It's not natural.
It's a weapon, Adrian, engineered by this rogue faction. Their entire world is flipped on its head.
So they're not just fighting the undead. They're fighting a manufactured enemy, created by people who should have been protecting them.
It's the ultimate betrayal. And to make matters worse, Shadow Unit gets captured by this rogue faction.
No way. After everything they've been through?
It seems like the end of the line. Their mission, their hope, everything comes crashing down around them.
But wait a minute. Jack is the rogue agent, right?
Yeah.
He's always got a trick up his sleeve.
Just when all hope seems lost, Jack reveals he had a contingency plan all along.
Always one step ahead. That's Jack for you. So they manage to escape.
They do. But even as they flee, the weight of what they've learned is crushing. They're not just fighting for survival anymore. They're fighting a global conspiracy that wants to use the pandemic to reshape the world.
It's like a nightmare scenario. The people in power are using this crisis to establish a new world order.
And it gets worse. Much worse.
I don't know if I'm ready for worse. But I guess we have to find out. Stay tuned for part 2 to discover just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Welcome back to Drunken Zombies. We're picking up right where we left off with Zero Dark Z. Shadow Unit is on the run after that shocking discovery.
And they're facing a threat unlike anything they've encountered before.
This isn't just some random group of survivors trying to make it through the apocalypse. This is a powerful faction with resources and a terrifying agenda.
They're not just trying to survive. They're trying to control the world using the pandemic to their advantage.
It's a chilling thought. They're playing God with humanity, and Shadow Unit is the only thing standing in their way.
But remember, Shadow Unit is still reeling from the betrayal. The realization that the pandemic was engineered, it's got to be a heavy burden to carry.
Oh, absolutely. They're wrestling with the knowledge that the enemy isn't just some mindless horde, it's people. They're fighting people who are deliberately using this virus to reshape the world.
It adds a whole new layer of complexity to their mission. They're not just fighting for survival anymore. They're fighting for the soul of humanity.
And the stakes couldn't be higher.
So what happens next? How do they even begin to fight back against something this big, this powerful?
Well, they know they can't just sit back and wait for the world to crumble. They have to take the fight to the enemy.
But how? They're outnumbered, outgunned, and up against an enemy that's operating from the shadows.
They need to expose the conspiracy, bring it out into the light so the world can see the truth.
But that's easier said than done. These guys are pros at manipulating information. They're masters of deception.
Exactly. But Shadow Unit has one thing the rogue faction doesn't. They have people who believe in something bigger than themselves.
They have hope.
Yes, hope. And the courage to fight for what's right even when the odds are stacked against them.
So what's their plan of attack?
They decide to hit the enemy where it hurts the most, their headquarters.
A direct assault. That's incredibly risky.
It's a suicide mission, practically. But they're desperate. They know this might be their only chance to stop the rogue faction from unleashing an even deadlier strain of the virus.
Okay, so they're going in guns blazing.
Not exactly. It's more of a strategic strike. They need to get in and out, undetected, disrupt their operations, gather intel, expose their plans to the world.
And they need to do all this while facing down hordes of the undead and an army of highly trained soldiers.
Piece of cake, right?
Well, if anyone can pull it off, it's Shadow Unit. But tell me, how do they even get close to the headquarters? These guys were probably bunkered down in some impenetrable fortress.
You're not wrong. Their headquarters is a nightmare to infiltrate. It's a maze of underground tunnels and fortified building swarming with guards and advanced security systems.
So how do they get past all that?
Well, this is where Raj's skills really come into play. He's a master of infiltration. He disables security cameras, hacks into their communication systems, creates diversions. It's like watching a digital symphony of chaos.
He's basically their secret weapon, turning the enemy's tech against them.
Precisely. While Raj is working his magic, Alexei and Jack are leading the charge. They're taking out guards, clearing a path for the rest of the team to get inside.
And what about Dr. Morales? What's her role in all of this?
She's their eyes and ears. She's analyzing data, gathering intel, trying to understand the rogue faction's endgame. What are they planning to do with this new strain of the virus? How are they going to use it to control the world?
So it's a coordinated effort. Everyone plays a crucial role.
Oh, absolutely. They're a well-oiled machine, even though they're all battling their own inner demons.
It's like they've finally found a purpose that transcends their individual struggles.
And that shared purpose gives them the strength to keep going, even when things get really tough.
Because let's be honest, things are about to get a whole lot tougher.
You're not kidding. Welcome back to Drunken Zombies. We're wrapping up our look at Zero Dark Z, and wow, what a story.
This one really took us on a wild ride. It's been intense. The action, the conspiracies, the moral dilemmas.
And those characters' shadow unit, I mean, they really got under my skin.
Me too. They felt so real, so human, even when they were facing down hordes of zombies and trying to expose a global conspiracy.
And that's what makes this story so compelling, right? It's not just about the action. It's about the human element, the choices people make when the world is falling apart.
Exactly. It makes you think, what would I do in that situation? Would I have the courage to stand up for what's right, even when everything seems hopeless?
Those are some tough questions. And Zero Dark Z doesn't shy away from them. It really forces you to confront those dark corners of human nature.
And it reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's still hope. There's still good in the world.
And sometimes that good comes from the most unexpected places.
Right.
Like, who would have thought that a group of misfits like Shadow Unit would be the ones to save humanity?
It's true. They're such an unlikely bunch. A scientist wrestling with guilt, a soldier haunted by his past, a tech genius grappling with moral dilemmas, and a rogue agent fueled by revenge. But somehow they found a way to come together to overcome their differences and fight for something bigger than themselves.
And their individual journeys were just as compelling as the overall plot, right? Like Dr. Morales finally finding redemption through her scientific discoveries.
Yeah. And Alexei choosing to protect life instead of taking it. It was like he finally found peace after a lifetime of war.
And Raj using his tech skills to fight for truth in a world drowning in lies. He became a symbol of hope for those who were lost and confused.
And even Jack. He found a way to let go of his anger and channel his rage into something more productive.
It's amazing how they all evolved, how they grew as characters. It shows us that even when we're broken, we can still heal. We can still find a way to make a difference.
And that's what makes Zero Dark Z so powerful. It's a story about hope and resilience, about the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most daunting challenges.
But it's also a cautionary tale, right? It reminds us that we can't take our freedom for granted, that there are always forces out there that want to control us, to manipulate us.
It's like the story is saying, hey, wake up, pay attention. The world is a dangerous place, and it's up to each of us to fight for what we believe in.
And to be aware of those who try to exploit our fears for their own gain, Zero Dark Z, really makes you question who you can trust.
It does. And it makes you wonder if we're truly prepared for the unexpected. What would happen if a pandemic like this really hit? Would we rise to the occasion? Or would we crumble under the pressure?
Those are some scary thoughts, but they're important ones to consider. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend that these things can't happen. We need to be prepared both mentally and physically.
So as we close the book on this terrifying tale, let's take a moment to appreciate the courage of Shadow Unit. They faced their fears, they fought for what they believed in, and they emerged from the darkness transformed.
They showed us that even in a world overrun by zombies, hope can still bloom, and that even the smallest acts of kindness can make a difference.
And if you're craving more spine-chilling zombie tales, be sure to rate and follow Drunken Zombies for your daily dose of brains and mayhem. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and watch out for those brain-hungry hordes, both the real and the metaphorical kind,